Okay, so I am just quickly popping in to start off the second half of this video before we go straight into the wheel spin. But yeah, the other video was getting a bit long, so I have decided to split this in half. So let's go on to what the wheel chose for me to read next. And the wheel picked The Eyre Affair by Jasper. I don't know if you pronounce both the F's, but it's Jasper Ford. I'm going to go with Jasper Ford. I don't know if you pronounce them both. This one is for the challenge card of a book that you borrowed out but never got a chance to read. Because, yeah, I borrowed this out a few months ago, but I never got around to it. So I'm picking it up now. This is a mystery of some kind. I don't really know what it's about yet, but I will track back in once I've started this and give you an update on my thoughts. Okay, so this is me quickly jumping in to say that I goofed up. I'm not actually meant to read The Eyre Affair next. I meant to read Time After Time next by Lewis Pentland. This one is about this girl. She basically she's been living with her dad. She's not happy. And then she ends up being thrown back in time. And she ends up back in the 80s. And yeah, so she's reinventing herself in the 80s and going back and going to use that to move forward. So yeah. So I'm reading this one after this. So I am still reading this one, but the wheel says I'm actually reading this one next. So sorry about that. I will still be back with updates, but with the correct book. Okay, I started Time After Time by Louise Pentland last night, and I got up to page 88 or 89. And yeah, she's just discovered how basically the main character Tabitha, her dad has come out as gay after 30 years and he's moving in with his boyfriend. And she's trying to figure out where her life is going. And she's 26, by the way, so she's not a teenager or anything. Yeah, so she's trying to figure out her own life. And then a mysterious ring ends up in this store that her and her best friend own. And she puts it on, and she's transferred back to the 1980s. And I've just gotten up to that point when I stopped for the night. But I feel like this is when it's going to get like more of a fun vibe. And so yeah, so that's where I'm up to. I'm 88 pages in, but that's the gist of what's happened. I am liking all the characters so far, so that's a positive. Actually, no, I don't like Tabitha's boyfriend, actually. Because the minute he found out that her dad came out as gay, he automatically assumed that because he's gay, there's a strong chance he's going to be in love with him. He turned into kind of a bigot. So I don't like him, but everyone else in this book is good. Alright, so that's my thoughts, and I will check back in when I've read more. And I finished Time After Time by Louise Pentland. I gave this book 5 stars. I thought it was very well done, and I loved it. So yeah, I went into what this was about, but yeah, the way that they did this story, like the characters and the story itself and the journey the main character went on, I really loved this. I picked one of the twists, sort of, but there was another twist that I didn't see coming. But yeah, this was very well done. I really, really loved this. 5 stars. Alright, let's move on to the next spin a wheel. Okay, you kind of already knew what it was because I accidentally auto-revealed this one because I got the wheels confused. But yeah, now I'm picking up the Eyre Affair by Jasper Fforde. I'm not going to go into what this is again because I accidentally already did it in this video. But yeah, now I'm picking this one up. Hello! So I am coming in to say that unfortunately I am DNFing the Eyre Affair. Oh, really? Now you want to make noise? You were quiet a minute ago. Anyway. Yeah, I am DNFing the Eyre Affair by Jasper Fforde. This is a lot of like spy and crime talk, and I'm not really a fan of that. But yeah, this one was unfortunately a DNF. And that's really disappointing considering the one before this was a 5-star. But we'll move on. And I have one book left for this, so let's check back in with the wheel spin. And then check back in with Past Me, who has already given her thoughts about this book. Hi! So, we're jumping ahead a bit, because I finished Unbridled by K.L. McCain. I ended up giving this a 3. It was a perfectly fine, like, romance contemporary story. It was basically these 3 girls, they all had, like, separate story. Their stories were separate, but it was 3 point of views for these 3 different characters, but they did all have connections with each other. You've got Carrie, who is the new girl at these stables, and she is just trying to figure out where she belongs and secure her job. And then you've got Bex, or Rebecca, who she's always been this like rich kid, and then her family loses all them, and then her family goes into debt, and she turns into like an absolute bitch, basically. And she tries to secure a way for her to keep her family's secret from coming out, and to keep lock in being rich, but yeah, it doesn't work out. So she just essentially just looks like a bitch and pushes away the only true friend she's had. And then you've got Luella. She is actually Bex's best friend for most of this book. And then Carrie comes. Bex doesn't like Carrie because she stole the boy she was trying to latch onto to keep to secure the family's money, or like her way of making sure that she has a future in something. But yeah, overall this was a 3-star. They threw in like a little mystery element at the end, so it felt it turned kind of like into a Nancy Drew story, but I kind of feel like it was unnecessarily thrown in. So yeah, I am sticking with my 3-star. But I just wanted to get this review in before I return this book to the library. And let's check back and let's go back to other... And on that note, this concludes this video and my little side challenge and my little side readathon challenge I was doing this year. But yeah, that wraps this up. I had, over the 2 videos, I actually had quite a few good reads. Like, I had 1 fail, and this was definitely the best one. It was the only one I gave 5 stars. Anyway, that's it for this video. I will link everything down below, and I will see you guys in whatever gets put out next.